The boys just don't get it. The boys don't get it. The boys don't get it. Besides seeing the clips of Sincere, the other thing that genuinely had my blood boiling this episode was the men's reactions to Anaya and Carl and trying to compare Anaya to Casey. Saying that there's a double standard, saying that the girls have no right to be mad at Casey for exploring when Anaya was exploring Carl. The lack of emotional intelligence, honestly, the lack of intelligence, period, is like baffling to me. Because how many times does this woman have to tell you that the issue was not the fact that he explored? Is she gonna be hurt that he chose someone else over her? Yes. It's not the fact that he explored. It's the fact that he brought someone back instead of choosing her. And yes, she explored Carl, but guess what she chose at the end? Casey. So trying to use that argument to me, actually, I'm losing brain cells. The second thing, and it's trying to say that it's the same thing as if Casey didn't spend so much time bringing Anaya down during his exploration. Meanwhile, you're looking at the clips of Anaya during movie night and she's doing nothing but just focusing on her connection with Carl without disrespecting Casey. If anything, there was literally a clip of her saying that she misses Casey. So for you Casey supporters trying to say that it's the same thing, at this point, it's not even comparing apples and oranges. It's literally comparing apples to saltine crackers. Fucking apples to chicken. Apples to dirt. And the way that these men continue to gaslight these women, not just on screen with the contestants, but off screen online with all of us in these conversations, is baffling to me. And then comes the argument of Anaya being an emotional manipulator. Okay, so you're telling me that Casey, who spoke life into Anaya, the Casey that constantly validated her, telling her that he wanted her, that he's choosing her, that she has nothing to worry about, that Casey who then went to the villa, or casa in this case, and spoke nothing but negative things about her, saying they had nothing in common, that's not emotional manipulation. Making a person feel safe and then question their own sanity when they feel insecure within your relationship, just for you to do the very thing that confirms their anxiety and insecurities. That's not emotional manipulation? Because it's so interesting to me how you can, nitpick, grasp at straws to try to make Casey the victim because that's the only case you have. So you don't want to call a spade a spade. That's emotional manipulation, but all the things Casey did, that's fine. And if you watch my videos, this is the one thing you should know about me, is I will never be biased. I don't care who you are, what race you are, what gender you are, how old you are. I will call a spade on these shows. And if you actually paid attention and watched my previous videos, I have talked about the fact that Anaya's reaction, her intense reaction to Casey exploring, was something I was not a fan of. But to try to label her as dangerous, to try to label her as an emotional manipulator, to try to label her as the perpetrator and Casey as the victim is crazy. Because you're telling me that if someone spent damn near a month telling you that you're it, that they want to cultivate a relationship with you, that you have nothing to worry about, if someone spent a month when you're spending 24 hours with them telling you that, just for them to then suddenly want to switch up and explore, you're not going to get emotional? But to then use that one thing as an argument to Casey being a victim with all of the things he has done to her, you have no level of discernment and emotional awareness or intelligence. I'm so sorry. Because when it comes down to disrespect, when it comes down to decorum, when it comes down to how you're supposed to carry yourself in this villa, if you want to try to say that Anaya is the perpetrator and Casey is the victim, we are in two different worlds right now. There's no point in us conversing and trying to talk about this. I cannot change who you are as a person, nor is it my job, and I cannot change your morals and values. Nobody can. The fact that Casey saw this woman breaking down in tears, having a full-on panic attack, and he's laughing. That is just the icing on the cake. That's just how he was to her face. That doesn't even include all the other things he has done and said about her behind her back. And for you to say that he's the victim, for you to say that she's the one that is in the wrong, for you to say that she's the one that's disrespectful and calculated. Like I said, you can't be helped. None of those boys that condone his actions on the show can either. And this is the thing, you will never make an effort to understand something or someone you don't respect. And that's women.